Myself Dr. W. Gulbade from Kamlanidhi Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur. Today I am going to discuss the second part of synthetic dyes, and as we know that here in today's presentation I am going to discuss what is dye, classification of dye, and after that synthesis of some dyes like crystal violet, Congo red, phenolphthalein, and the fourth is alizarin. So all these four, what are the uses of these dyes and their synthesis, we are going to see in today's presentation. So what is dye? Dye is a color substance which can be applied in a solution to the substance, and like substances like cotton, wool, silk, and some cosmetic based materials, and also polymeric materials, wax, hair, like that, and which give a colored appearance. So today's topic is synthetic dyes part 2. In the first part we have discussed about the theories of color and constitution, Witt's theory and modern theory, or also known as electronic theory. And now today we are going to discuss what is dye and what are the different dyes. So here now we can say that dye is a color substance, and which can be applied to the solution in a solution or dispersion to the substance, such as textile fabrics like cotton, wool, silk, polyester, nylon, or paper, leather, hair, fur, plastic material, wax, and it gives the colored appearance. So this is the dye which can be applied to the substance. And first synthetic dye was prepared by William Perkin in 1856. So to apply, so dye is a colored substance, and therefore what are the so all colored substances are not a dye. So certain conditions are there for to be a substance to be a dye. So what are the conditions? That the substance appeared as a, or we can be used as a dye. So there are certain conditions, and these are the conditions. A substance can be used as a dye for the textile only if it satisfies some conditions, and conditions are: number one, it must have suitable color. So first is the important, that substance must have suitable color, and second is that it must be able to fix itself or to the fabric from the solution. It also has to be able to fix itself to the fabric. And third is that when fixed, it must be fast to light, resistance to the action of water, soap, detergent, like that, and during washing, or to the organic solvent during the dry cleaning. So these are the three conditions important for the dye to be used as a dye. The substance which are satisfying these three conditions, then it can be used as a dye. So now after that we are going to see the classification of dye. So different types of classifications are there, and we can classify the dye as in number of ways. So first classification is we can say that natural or synthetic dyes. So as we know that in our early times, man has been trying to extract dyes from the plant for using them to beautify his cloth. Such dye was known as such dye is known as a natural dyes. And two examples of such type of dyes are indigo, which is the blue dye, and alizarin, which is a red dye. So this is the natural dye. These two dyes were there. Now India has been a main producer of exporter of indigo. As we know that natural dye have only limited shades, and therefore nowadays most of the dyes used are synthetic dyes, which can have different types of shades. Most of these dyes are aromatic compound obtained from the coal tar. So therefore these dyes are also known as a coal tar dyes. So first classification is natural and synthetic dyes. Natural obtained from the plant, and synthetic which are synthesized in the laboratory. And second classification of the dyes on their constitution, or also known as based on the chemical constitution. So in this case, dyes are classified on the basis of chemical constitution or the functional group which is present in the dye. And some important examples of this are azo dye, nitro dyes, nitroso dyes, triphenyl methane dyes, anthraquinone dyes, indigoid dyes, phthalene dyes, etc. These are the some examples of this second type of dyes based on the chemical constitution or the functional group present in the compound. And it's most important is the third classification, and that is the classification of dyes based on their application. So based on their application, there are different types of dyes, and here next slide shows different types of dyes one by one. So here this is the first dye, which is known as acid dye. So what is meant by the acid dye? So the sodium salt of azo dye containing sulfonic acid, that is SO3H group, and carboxylic acid, that is COOH group, are known as the acid dyes. So they contain the acidic group. These dyes are applied to the fabric from their acid solution and are used to dye wool, silk, nylon, polyurethane fibers, like that. And some examples are also there of such type of dye, that is the orange one shown here in the slide. What is here? This is the diazotide sulfonic acid, sodium salt. When it reacts with the alpha naphthalene, and H from this and Cl can be replaced, and what is this get joined by azo group, and we get the orange one. So orange one is a acid dye, and because there is a sulfonic acid group, sodium salt of sulfonic acid group is present. So this is the first example of based on the classic application. So acid dye. Second is a basic dye. Now in these dyes are salt of the colored bases containing amino group NH2 as the oxochrome. These includes azo, triphenyl methane dyes, and in acid solution these amino group form water soluble cation, which then react with anionic sites present on the fabrics and get attached to them. So modified or reinforced nylon, polyester can be dyed with these basic dyes. Some examples are shown in the slide, that is example of this type of dyes are aniline yellow, butter yellow, creosote G. These are some basic dyes, and these dyes are generally used to dye silk, wool, cotton, leather and paper. So this is the second dye, and examples. And third is a direct dyes. Sometimes it is also known as substantive dyes. These are water soluble dyes, and as we know, name is suggested, these are those dyes which can be directly applied to the fabric from an aqueous solution. So direct dyes, name is given direct dye, and they can be applied directly to the fabric. These are most suitable for fabric which can form hydrogen bond with the dyes. These are generally used for the dyeing cotton, wool, silk, rayon, nylon, like that. Congo red and Martyrs yellow are the two well-known examples of this type of dyes, and one structure of Martyrs yellow is shown here in the slide. And next, fourth number is a dispersed dye. And what is dispersed dye now here? Dispersed dye are water insoluble dyes and are applied to the fabric in the form of dispersion of the finely divided dye in a soap solution in the presence of stabilizing agent like phenol, cresol or benzoic acid. These dyes are used to dye synthetic fiber like nylon, polyester, polyacrylonitrile fibers, and these dyes belong to the class of anthraquinone dyes and suitable for dyeing synthetic polyamide fibers. An example is also given here, that Celiton Fast Pink B, Celiton Fast Blue B. These are the two examples of the dispersed dyes. And next, number 5 is a fiber reactive dyes. These dyes are these dyes contain a reactive group which combine directly with the hydroxyl or the amino group of the fiber. Because of the formation of permanent chemical bond between the fiber and the dye, the color of the dye fabric is fast and has long life. Cotton, wool, silk can be dyed with these type of dyes. And so here example is shown, that fiber reactive dyes. Here this is the fiber which contain OH group or amino group. So this react and forming this type of, here HCl can be removed and oxygen bond is here. So in this way they joined and we get So fiber get attached here, fiber get attached here. So this is the example that we can say that dyes which are derivative of 2,4-dichloro 1,3,5-triazine are the important example of the fiber reactive dyes. So this is the triazine ring attached through the oxygen to the fiber. So next number is the 6 in-grain dyes. So in-grain dyes also sometimes known as insoluble azo dye, and these are these dyes obtained by coupling of the phenol, naphthol, arylamine, aminophenol on the surface of fabric with the diazonium salt. As there is only surface absorption of the dye on the fabric, the color is not fast. These dyes can be used to dye cellulose, silk, polyester, nylon, polypropylene, polyurethanes and leather. And one example is shown here of these dyes, and here 1-nitrobenzene diazonium chloride react with the beta naphthol, HCl get release and in the presence of NOH. So here H from this ring and HCl removed, and this azo group is joined here and we get para-red. So para-red is a in-grain dyes, and after this in-grain dyes, next number 7th is a white dyes. These are important, and white dyes are insoluble in water and hence cannot be used directly for dyeing. Therefore, they are first reduced to a soluble colorless form. This colorless form is known as leucoform in large vat with a reducing agent like alkaline solution of sodium hydrosulfite. Under these alkaline conditions, leucoform develop affinity for cellulose fiber, and therefore these dyes are mainly used to dye cotton fibers. And cotton fiber to be dyed is soaked in this alkaline solution and then oxidized to the insoluble colored form by exposure to the air or by some oxidizing agent like chromic acid. Example is a indigo is shown here. So here this is the indigo, is the wet dye. Reduction we get this type of leucoform, and oxidation we get again indigo or indigodine. So wet dye is a indigo dye, example of this 7th number. And now last 8, modern dye. So what is the modern dye? And modern means it is the substance which bind to the fibers. Okay, so the dye can bind through the mordant. So these dyes do not dye the fabric directly but require a mordant. The mordant act as a binding agent between the fiber and the dye. One mordant is shown in the slide, that is a structure of alizarin aluminum fiber complex which is rose red in color. So this is the structure which is shown here. This is the fibers, and through this oxygen they bind, and this is the dye mordant which bind to the fiber. So in this way we can classify the different types of dyes, and based on application there are total 8 dyes are there. And after this, now we are going to see one by one the synthesis and uses of some important dyes. And here one dye, that is the Congo red, which is very important dye, can be synthesized. And here this Congo red is prepared by coupling tetraazotide benzidine with the 2 molecules of 1-naphthylamine 4-sulfuric acid. So how to synthesize Congo red? The reaction is shown here. So this is the naphthenionic acid, 2 molecules of naphthenionic acid, and this is the tetraazotide. This is azo group, and 2 are there. So tetraazotide benzidine, this is the benzidine. And now here so see how this HCl and this HCl can remove, and 2 molecules of HCl, and this azo group is here and azo group joined here, and we get this is the azo group and this is another azo group, and this is the coupling shown with the azo group, diazotide group, and we get the Congo red. So this is the simple method, and this Congo red dye can be used for dyeing the paper, and also for the cotton cloth. It is also used as an indicator. So this is the first dye which can be synthesized by this reaction is shown here in the slide. And second important dye is so here are the uses of Congo red. It can be used for dyeing paper, cotton cloth, and also used as an indicator. It is blue in acidic solution less than pH 3 and red in solution pH greater than 3. So it can be used as an indicator. And next important dye is crystal violet. So reaction is given here. How to synthesize the crystal violet? So in this case, dimethyl aniline react with the phosgene COCl2 to form Michels ketone. So first we get Michels ketone, and crystal violet was first prepared by Kuhn in 1883 by condensing Michels ketone with the NN dimethyl aniline in the presence of phosphorus oxychloride POCl3 or phosgene COCl2. If phosgene is used, then crystal violet can be directly obtained by heating NN dimethyl aniline with phosgene. So reaction is shown here of synthesis. So the reaction is given here for the synthesis of crystal violet. So this is the phosgene, and here dimethyl. This compound is there. What is we get the Michels, and here phosgene react with the dimethyl aniline, and after that aniline is NH2 in place of 2H, methyl groups are there. So dimethyl aniline react with the phosgene, and here in this way we get here two this dimethyl aniline are here, two molecules we have taken, and this joined by CO group CO. So CO is here, 2H from this and 2HCl, HCl is here. And now when again another molecule of this is reacting dimethyl aniline, and we get this type of this oxygen can remove, and here in place of this is the group joined here crystal violet, and we get this is the compound which is crystal violet. So another molecule can join there, obtained by heating NN dimethyl aniline with the phosgene. So and application of this dye are number of applications are there of the crystal violet. It is used as an indicator for the determination of pH of the solution. Second, it dyes the wool and silk directly and cotton with the help of a mordant. It is also used in the manufacture of ink, stamp pad, and as a strain in biological studies. This dye can also be used for as a Centyon violet, because it is a mixture of methyl violet and crystal violet, and this mixture is used as a stain and also as an antiseptic. So these are the important uses of this crystal violet dye. And third important dye is a synthesis of phenolphthalein. So here this is the compound generally we use in the laboratory for the as a dye indicator, and this phenolphthalein can be synthesized by taking the example here. So it is prepared by heating phthalic anhydride 1 molecule with the 2 molecules of phenol in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. So reaction is very simple of synthesis of phenolphthalein. So here these are the 2 molecules of phenol CCH5OH and 2 hydrogens of this ring, and this is the phthalic anhydride. So 2H and O water get removed, and they get joined in this way, and we get the compound what is known as a phenolphthalein. And it has a very important use. What is the use? It can be used as an indicator because it shows the color change, and therefore acid it can be used in a indicator in a acid base titration, and sometimes it also be useful used as a powerful laxative. And now next dye is a synthesis and uses of alizarin. So alizarin can be synthesized by 2 methods. First method is shown in this slide, and as we know that alizarin is one of the most important anthraquinoid dyes. It is the chief constituent of the model root. Alizarin is a polygenic dye. Polygenic means it gives different color with the different mordant. For example, with aluminum mordant it gives a rose red dye. With chromium mordant it gives brown violet. With the barium mordant it gives blue, and with magnesium mordant it gives violet color. And first method is shown synthesis of this alizarin. It is prepared from phthalic anhydride by condensing it with the catechol in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. So this is the reaction shown here. This is the phthalic anhydride and this is catechol, and now they get joined here in this way, and here we get the compound alizarin. So this is the three benzenic joint here. So here it combined in this way and it get joined, and this is the reaction by which we get the alizarin. So this is one method, and another method is also there of synthesis of alizarin. And here this alizarin can also be manufactured by sulfonating anthraquinone with the fuming H2SO4 at high temperature, fusing the sodium salt of anthraquinone to sulfonic acid with the sodium hydroxide and calculated quantity of this KClO3 at temperature 180 to 200 under pressure, we get alizarin. So this is the one method. So anthraquinone fuming H2SO4, first we get anthraquinone to sulfonic acid of sodium salt, and then it is react with NaOH, and here in place of this it is coming here ONA, and then after a reaction with the acid we get OH here, and these are some other compounds, and this is the compound which is known as alizarin. So this is second method, and important uses of this alizarin it can be used to dye for wool and cotton. It is also used for making a printing ink. So these are the four important compound dyes which can be synthesized, which are been given in the syllabus of the BSc course. So today we stop here, and here in a synthetic dyes we have completed the part, and today we have discussed about the what is meant by dye, and then the classification, and after that we have seen the synthesis and uses of crystal violet, then in Congo red and alizarin and phenolphthalein. These are the four important dyes which are in the syllabus.